welcome to episode 2 of Silly Questions today. Episode 1 was on the forum channel. Go check that out if you haven't already. But the link to it will be at the very end of this video. Gonzo, we've got the London Stadium. We've got the bowl here. Of silly questions, which have been submitted by you lot on our previous video a couple of weeks ago. Some of you kindly put in questions. I've written them all down, stuck them all in the bowl. We're very rock and roll. However, if you have any silly questions for future editions, please put them in the comments and I'll scribble them down.
We need them. We do.
Anyway, are you ready?
I am.
You're in the hot seat.
Oh, I love it.
Right, let's have a little look. Question number 1 for you. Oh, here we go. I remember this one was by Woody. He said, you're both appointed joint managers of West Ham United.
Yeah, nice.
What are both of your strengths and weaknesses, and who has the final say?
Oh, I like it. Woody, Alan. Discipline. A firm hand, Alan. Do you know what I mean? Like a disciplinarian. I'm taking no messing around. I don't know which manager was it that removed ketchup from the table in the canteen. There was, remember, everyone was going mad about it.
Yeah, a few of them actually. I think it's actually Ten Hag or no, Ralph Ragnick.
Oh, I like it. Ralph's got the right idea for me. No ketchup. I'd make everyone. No, don't turn up in no flashy cars. Everyone would have a club car, like a Vauxhall Corsa or something like that, just to remind them that they were they were all equal. So I think those sort of things really keeping people grounded. Punishments. Oh no, Geo likes the punishments actually. So yeah, I think so. Motivation, punishments, discipline, diet. All the stuff, Alan. All the stuff. What about you, Gio?
I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I think my strengths would be I would do the bare minimum. I know it sounds silly, but I believe in delegation. I believe in having the right people in the right place to do the right job. And I can't remember, there was a CEO of a massive company. I should really remember who it was. But I remember there was a podcast I was listening to with him, and he said, when I walk into the boardroom, I want to be the thickest person in the boardroom. And he basically said, if I'm smarter than someone else in there, I need to get rid of them and get someone else in. He says, because, they're no longer doing the job I employed them to do. And while it doesn't quite work like that, I think I'd be a bit like that. I'd want somebody better at set pieces than I am, in charge of set pieces. I'd want the best fitness coach at the club, somebody that knows a lot more than I do about fitness, so on and so forth. So I'd almost my strengths would be assembling the right management team would probably be my strength.
I like that. I like to be the thickest person in any room, not just
you are. Don't worry.
Thank you very much. Daniel Levy says that about the cheese room.
What would you?
You need to delegate somebody to come round and fix the blinds.
Yeah, like King Charles when he needs the thing moved off his desk. Move that ink thing for you.
Absolutely, that ink thing.
Don't fancy touching that today, if you wouldn't mind just shifting that.
He's got the right. I'll tell you what he needed, really. I've got to say, what King Charles needed was a multi-pen. A leopard print multi-pen. That's right. Oh, it doesn't have to be. He could have gone with a zebra. He could have gone with El Tigros.
No, the Cat Slater trio. I think for the weaknesses, I'm going to say what your weakness is.
What? Go on then.
You're too emotional. Too emotional.
Too emotional.
Yeah. We'd concede a throw in and you'd start running up and down the touchline screaming. And I'd almost have to rein you in and remind you it's only 2 minutes into the game and it's not that big a deal just to calm it. You'd be making 5 subs at half time. Even if we're 2-0 up, you'd say, you're still not good enough. Get it. He scored, you haven't. Off the pitch now.
I used to play myself and Marcus used to play FIFA years ago. We used to play on the same career. We'd be on the same team, and someone would annoy me, a player would annoy me, and I'd say to him, I want to sell him in January, and he'd say, "Come on, mate, it's like 3 or 4 games, and I'm done. I'm finished with him. It's over." And I think the reins, what you've got to do with those reins, you've got to be elasticated ones, which allow me to get a certain way down the touchline, and then I'm sort of all the way back again.
Yeah, so that's your weakness. You're too emotional, too knee jerk. That's your
fair enough.
Your weakness. Anyway, you ready for question number 2?
I like it. Yeah.
Now let's go for question number 2. Thank you very much, Ali. Question number 2 says, if me, you, and Charlie played, where would we play in the starting 11?
Well, that's different because you want to say where you played as a lad, don't you? That's the thing. It's immediately, right wing, but no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't be able to oust Jared Bowen. I probably would at the moment, to be fair. I'm probably in better form than Jared at the moment. But generally, I wouldn't be able to oust him from the team. I think I'd be quite a dirty right back, actually. I think that's for me. I think I'd be a filthy... people say he's a red card waiting to happen. That one, particularly with Geo, we've got that elastic on him as well. Yeah. You could be centre back next to me. You could have me on a rein. What about you?
I would stick with what I did when I was younger, which is left wing. I'm just too. I was old school, so I was left-footed on the left wing. So that's different to the modern game, isn't it? I'm not this inverted winger. I often got told to cut inside on my right foot. I was like, I'm crap with my right foot. Why would I do that when I can just go down the outside? So I think I'd stick with my old-fashioned left wing. But where would you put Charlie? I reckon centre mid. He's very cool-headed as Charlie. Very composed.
He's very hairy, though.
Yeah, but that could be like Gattuso in there, but with cool-headed Gattuso. Calm Gattuso.
Chilled Gattuso. Gattuso. It'd say, excuse me, referee. Would you mind awfully reconsidering that? I think you might have made it. You probably, you know what? I'll shut up. You probably didn't make an error.
You made an error.
So my friends. Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into more questions from the London Stadium, this video is sponsored by Spitch. The Premier League is back this weekend. You've had a week with no Premier League football. That means you've had a week with no Premier League Fantasy League. Hopefully, you've been joining in with the Nations League. But if you haven't, don't worry about it. We'll forgive you. But we won't forgive you if you don't join the Hammers Chat League over on Spitch. The app you can download by using the link in the description. Please do use that one. It's free to download. It's free to sign up. To join the Hammers Chat League is also free. And there's plenty other games on the app that you can play for free, or you can put down a bit of a stake and increase your potential prize money. But don't worry, the free game has got £250 up for the winner this weekend. You might be thinking, I've not played all season, I'm a bit behind. It doesn't matter. It's this game week. It starts this game week and it finishes this game week. So when the final whistle goes on the final game of the Premier League this weekend, somebody will scoop £250, and next weekend it resets. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is good. Myself and Gonzo will be revealing our teams later on in the week as we go to head-to-head on a personal battle. I think Gonzo's winning 3-2 at this rate. It's a high-scoring game. It's high-scoring. Anyway, you can download it. Link in description. And I'm heading back to the London Stadium to pick out the third question for Gonzo in today's video. And here we go. And you had a similar one on our latest Patreon video, but... this one was from Andy Walsh, I remember it. He said 3 players or managers for dinner. However, one of them must be dead. One of them must be living, but a former player or manager. And one current player or manager. Which would your trio be?
Well, if the former Mrs. Gonzo was cooking, they'd probably die during the meal. So I don't know if that counts. Are they allowed to be dead already? Okay, so one of them's dead.
Yeah, well, there was like someone that's passed away, somebody that's not currently alive today.
Okay, Brian Clough, because he's just absolutely brilliant. Have to get a lot of wine in though, I think, because he'd probably turn up smashed. What's the other criteria?
A former ex-player or a manager that's currently living.
Okay. I would actually bring Stuart Pearce along, funnily enough. Because, as I tell you what, that'd be a nice day.
Can you please get back to West Ham? We've been a shambles since you've left.
Absolutely, yeah, we could do that. But there's a West Ham element there. He's a good laugh. He's a good laugh, Piercy. And I speak like I know him, Piercy. I think you're allowed to say Piercy to him. I don't think he gets annoyed. I don't think he starts swearing at you if you call him Piercy. I think you're allowed to call Piercy.
It's all right. If it doesn't go down well, Cam Gattuso can wade in and just
whoa. Just chill
Piercy, Mamma Mia, just
come on, have a word with Danny DeVito. Anyway, I think, and also he used to play under Clough, so I think I would like to get Clough to basically check whether some of these stories are true. Whether young man, that's a lie. He'd probably be saying that. And what's the last criteria?
A current one that's still playing or managing.
Well, I think I would invite El Fornicador.
Just for the randomness.
Because of what what Jack said the other day about him. I thought that's what he makes. He sounds like a bloody nice guy, and that'll do for me.
Okay, right. Last question for this episode for Gonzo today. Let's see what the London Stadium has.
Hold on. What about you? You didn't answer the questions.
I always pick the current, the former one, but the living one, Alex Ferguson. I always pick Alex Ferguson because it's got the Aberdeen links as well, and then it's the greatest manager in the English game, and I just think. I'd almost ask him how he was ahead of the time. We know why he was ahead of time because of the people he would employ. Then he wouldn't really mind if his assistant manager left. It's all right. I'll replace you, get somebody that's better than you. And you always felt like there was always a better assistant manager available than the one he currently had. But he never dismissed them. He just waited for them to move on. Then he'd bring somebody else in. But I'd also like to ask him how to get the old game back into the new game, if that makes sense. Like I know you were joking earlier about the cars and stuff, but you hear stories about when Giggs turned up at training with this fancy car, and Roy Keane was the one that said, "What the hell are you doing, son?" And Fergie said, "No, get that back out of here. Go get your old banger."
Yes.
And once you've played 100 games for Man United,
he took that in a totally different way when Giggs.
He went around his brothers, didn't he?
Absolutely. I don't need any encouragement, Kappa. I've got loads of them. Wait, sorry.
Rodri, get to work. I'm coming round.
No, Ryan, the car. I meant the car.
So that's why I would ask Fergie about how to get that back into the modern game today a little bit, or could you do it? Could Fergie survive in today's game? I don't know. I mean, people would probably call it draconian if he rocked up at a football club tomorrow and started bringing stuff like that. And it's you can't do that anymore. Fergie, that's considered bullying now. You can't be doing that. You can't tell people what car they can and can't drive.
I think you can. And I wasn't joking.
The one that passed away, I don't know really. I know Moore is the obvious one, but I probably would just go for him. I probably would, just to sort of almost find out the truths about a few things and stuff, and about how he was treated about West Ham after he left and so on and so forth. You hear about people today, like the likes of Harry Redknapp and Tony Cottee that spoke about it, but it would almost be nice to hear from him himself, kind of thing. Maybe he wasn't arsed. You don't know.
Well, I don't think you'd say. From what, speaking to people that obviously clearly did know him, I think even if he was...
Mate, I brought you back from the flipping dead. The least you can do is tell me the truth.
Give me an honest answer. Don't give me the old PR. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Listen, mate, you owe me 1 year, eh? Brought you back from the den.
You've been very reasonable with him, Gio. You've been very reasonable.
Got some good scran here for you. Would you mind just telling us the absolute truth, please? As for the current one, I don't know. I think I'd need somebody that's a bit of a laugh and a little bit edgy to some extent. I don't know who's a little bit funny these days. I think Declan Rice would be. I think I'd have Declan Rice, because Declan Rice could learn from Fergie and Moore while we were at the dinner party, and he could go on to become a better player, I think. So there you go. That's my three. Right, final question. Oh, Chelsea. You're the manager of West Ham again.
That's my favourite part.
Yeah. Chelsea offer you 100 million for Declan Rice, summer 2023. How are you selling him?
No, but I'd string them along. I mean, I'd really string them along. I'd make them think they were getting Declan. And then right at the end, I'd pull the carpet out from underneath their feet. I'd say, hey, you, remember?
That'll go down well with Declan Rice, that will, won't it?
I don't care. You could get back in your Corsa, Declan. Do you know what I mean? Get back, do some double training, son. That'd be like that, because I'm running a tight ship at West Ham, obviously. And me being emotional and a bullying. I'm running a bullying culture. That's what's going on at West Ham. So I'd say, anyway. So right at the end, I'd pull the rug out and say, no, because you stitched us up with a Breuer thing. You left us dangling for ages over Zuma. I hold a grudge. And by the way, you can take your All-Star game and you can shove it with the blue flag where the sun don't shine.
There you go. I think that's a no. I think that's
odd.
Anyway, should we leave it there?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna do another one of these. You would have seen that, because we're gonna retrospectively. This is the second one.
Yeah, we've recorded this first. This is the first one we've recorded, but it's the second one published. So you might be watching the first one thinking, hang on a minute, there's less questions in the ball on episode 1 than there was in episode 2. How's that happen?
That's a bit like the London Stadium between last season and this season. There's less supporters in a London stadium. Like, that's empty here, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no massive wall on episode 2, so between
true.
the home and the away end, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you somehow enjoyed this, please do drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you've got any questions for future episodes or silly questions, please put them below. I'll get my sticky notepad out, write them all down, throw them in the London Stadium, and episode 1 will be on your screen in approximately 3 seconds. Catch you in a bit.